Physics in Necrotic World, Season 3 Work Done, Episode 51, Greenhouse Gases. Welcome, strangers. Technically, under the guise of greenhouse gases, this is the global warming episode. Sorry, I kind of swapped it the wrong way around, but it doesn't matter that much. Here's a bit more about King John, because wow, everything to do with greenhouse gases and greenhouses and burning up the earth makes me think of him. When my poor father died in 1166, 1166. My quotation marks superstar brother Richard became king, and he elected his small nephew Arthur as heir. Richard was surely a quotation marks great warrior. That's what all the countrymen say, or so I'm told. But he's a poor choice for king. In his 10-year reign, some kings went quite wrong. Many say he fought, quotation marks, brilliantly. But honestly, he fought cruelly too in the Third Crusade. He was captured on his way back home by one of his personal enemies, Leopold of Austria. I was reluctant to pay the ransom for the freedom of Richard, so I left it to Queen Eleanor and High Volta, the Archbishop of Canterbury, to do the dowager to raise the required £60,000, a lot of money. Okay, I might have been a bit treacherous since I attempted to take the throne for myself while Richard was in captivity. Soon after, Richard died fighting in France for God knows what. Anyways, back to global warming. Well, actually, that's covered already. Sorry, slightly misled. I have covered it, don't worry. The Earth's temperature is affected by albedo, which is a measure of surface reflectivity, which is based on color and sheen and atmospheric radiation reabsorption. Safe levels of greenhouse gases would be a lovely layer that's relatively thick enough but also thin enough, like Saint Nick at Christmas time wearing his classic belt. But for the Earth, it's a belt of a cocktail of methane and other gases, which is while methane is more naturally meant to be there than the carbon dioxide and sulfuric acids that lead to Santa's belt, quotation marks, rusting. Actually, if his belt was not made of iron, this would be called corrosion, not rusting. With metaphorical conceptual explanations, a creative license slightly can be taken as long as I have fulfilled explaining well, which I reckon, well, I hope I have. Too much, so an overflow of corrosion to Santa's belt, or if you didn't clock the analogy, the excess greenhouse gases, means the atmosphere absorbs too much energy, so overheats, which cooks the Earth as the steady temperature is raised. Thermal equilibrium is then set like a heater to a burning hot heat that is inescapable, which is a real problem. Greenhouse gases is like everything in life. It's good in effective moderation, yeah? There should be a range in which it's acceptable. Acceptable is also subjective. Range is also subjective, but we kind of need to just pretend it's not subjective and just hide it in the cupboard, Collect the skeletons or whatever. Realistically, I just think it's satisfying. Walking Dead, not skeletons. Not that I'm suggesting that you partake in impulsive activities, but learning to use a crossbow to shoot zombies in the arcade on that really cool Walking Dead game is good in moderation. Realistically, I just think it's satisfying. It's funny how one game that I played in ages propelled me to run this podcast. Ice and clouds and stuff in the air, and stuff that's reflective, basically allow for a cooling effect, which is kind of like a large-scale cascade cooling effect. Yeah, cryogenics. Cryogenic engineering, not preserving dead bodies. Whereby it's important as it means decreased temperatures globally, ideally. effectively combating the global warming crisis itself naturally, which is the ideal situation, yeah? The reflection would just cancel out the global warming. Thermal equilibrium, which it can't happen because global warming is due to excess greenhouse gases emitted. Thermal equilibrium is thus meant to be reached at a lower temperature, but obviously us humans have to spoil the planet by burning carbon stores and damaging blue carbon ecosystems like mangroves and all that. Really cool stuff. Marine biology, totally amazing. Love it. So I mean, if you're interested in ecology or if you're interested in marine biology, the mangrove forests are important. Or if you're not, well, you ought to care anyways, because you live on Earth, so you ought to be grateful, right? Now, and also sea creatures in general. You learn a lot about yourself and like other humans and other people and your situation on Earth and ethics and all that by actually studying the sciences, which is what I love doing. I mean, physics in particular, but general knowledge, yeah? Now we all see why radiation is so influential, right? See you next time at Physics in Necrotic World. This is your host, Rimona Christian, R out.